it's a cycle. You know, addiction is based in a cycle, and the cycle just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And my state, without anything in me, is restless, irritable, discontent. Then I would use, and I would feel good. I don't know if it's the way our brain is structured or what, but man, something clicks, and it's the best feeling you've ever had in your entire life.
You have this allergy, and the allergy happens when you start to ingest the booze or the chemicals. It's not like the allergy of strawberries or peanuts where your throat closes up. It's like just the opposite. Your throat opens up and wants more.
I was never able to use just a little. I always struggled with, you know, okay, I'll just use on the weekends. I'll just use at parties. That just wasn't me. And when I started, within a year, I was using every day, all day long. And so when you use that way, there are consequences. You know, you get in trouble with the law, you lose friends. And so those consequences are painful, and I didn't want them. And so I would tell myself, okay, I've got to stop. I'm going to stop. And I would make these promises and these resolutions about how I was going to change. And then I would, for a period of time, feel a little bit better because the consequences weren't happening. But the problem was that eventually, without a drug or a substance, I would eventually go back to that natural state of restless, irritable discontent. And I had this mental obsession. It was like the memory of how amazing it was to be high always outshone the memory of how painful it was or how I said I was never gonna do it again. And I would begin to kind of concoct these ways I was gonna make it be different this time. It was not, I'm gonna use, but I'm not gonna get those same consequences, and I would use. I would tell myself it's just gonna be a little, it's just gonna be at this time, and I would just blow it like within a day, and I'd be totally out of control. And so then it would get painful, and I would say, well, I don't wanna do this anymore, and I would make a resolution, and I would make a promise, and I would stop. And then my old problem of how I felt would come back, and I would do it again.
The cycle of addiction and codependency, it's two sides of the same coin. You have the addict, which I am one, and you have the codependent. The codependent gets addicted to the addict. Codependent solution is getting in there and fixing this alcoholic. And they get in there and they have to be around them all the time. And the allergy or the craving becomes the person, the loved one, that they're getting in there trying to fix or rescue. And they tell themselves, okay, if I just love them harder, and that becomes the addiction. And then that addict spits in their face and they go, okay, I'm not gonna do this again. I'm not gonna get back into this whole behavior. I'm not gonna rescue them. And they really mean it. Just like the addict says, I'm not gonna get drunk or high again. I'm not gonna get in there and rescue them again or fix them. Then they come over here and they become restless, irritable, discontented also. They become restless. They might not have heard from their loved one. So they get in there and they try to fix it again. And so right there, that mental obsession is, well, I gotta get in there. Oh, you know, he's doing so well. He has 11 months of sobriety now. I can get in there and I can buy him this or do this for him. And that mental obsession gets in there and they're back into trying to control the whole situation. And boom, we're back to the races again.